7. Barrett outside the switch. Doncic goes over and a great step. And then he hammers it home. Broke his ankles.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. I hope you guys are doing well, and it's about time I made this video. I know what you guys are thinking. Is Julius Randle an all-star? Should he make the all-star team? Yes, I'm going to be talking about why he should make the all-star team this all-star game. I know it's stupid. I've never been a big fan of the all-star break. Like, the dunk contests are kind of boring in my opinion. Like, some people loved the dunk contest last year. I wasn't even that entertained. I don't know if I'm just, like, taking the fun out of it. But I really didn't think it was that cool. The three-point contest is kind of boring to me. I don't know why. I kind of like the skills competition. I like the all-star game, the Kobe one. That was really cool. I love the format of that, but it hasn't been good in a long time, in my opinion. And now, like, no fans or whatever it's going to be, that's just stupid. But if a Knicks, like, an all-star, that's all I care about. I care about the label of an all-star. I don't care about how well they play in the all-star game. Like, I've seen, like, freaking, what is it, Kyle Lowry just freaking brick a million shots in the all-star game. He doesn't look like an all-star in there because he's not fun to watch compared to, like, a LeBron or something. But Kyle Lowry's still a very productive NBA player. But anyway, I'm going to be talking about why Julius Randle should be an all-star. I want to give a big shout out to Joshua Carrig and Buzzer Beater for being great members of the channel. You guys further your support, and that is very optional on this channel. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Really appreciate you guys. But yeah, getting into Julius Randle, the good, the bad, the freaking ugly, like kind of the medium type of love for him, because we're going to be going through the history of Julius Randle and how much his game has changed and just the hatred of Knicks fans. And I was one of those people, especially when, like, Knicks fans, most of the Knicks fans had high expectations of getting a Kevin Durant, getting a Kyrie Irving, getting a Jimmy Butler, Kemba Walker, one of those guys, or at least Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, because those were the combo. Like, if you were getting Kevin Durant, you had to get Kyrie that came with him. Like, you needed the type of combo. But anyway, we missed out on those guys to the Brooklyn Nets. Like, of course, we traded Porzingis, like, the season before, of course, like, the offseason. Yeah, that season. So it was, like, really tough for Knicks fans. It was like, okay, we got bad contracts off the books, but we just gave up a star player of Kristaps Porzingis. We get it, he came off of an ACL injury, but we got nothing back. Dennis Smith Jr., draft pick, the Mavericks are going to be absolutely amazing. What's the point of that? And that may look different now because the Mavericks haven't really met certain people's expectations. They haven't been that good. So we hope that's a lottery pick. And with some of that cap space, we got Marcus Morris, right? We freed up in free agency. And we ended up trading Marcus Morris for Emmanuel Quickley. And there's a lot that's going to go into it for sure. And you could say, like, Porzingis doesn't matter at this point because Julius Randle's playing like a freaking all-star. And he's more durable and he's showing up more nights. Like, Porzingis may be the more skilled player, but Randle's been more productive. He's been more consistent, and he's staying on the basketball court. Again, Porzingis is more talented, but who's more productive? More productive, and who can you count on every single night for the New York Knicks? If you know what I'm saying. But you're getting into this history, it's really funny because of course we had the expectations with Kevin Durant. We didn't even get Zion Williamson in the draft. We ended up with R.J. Barrett, like the consolation prize that was called at the time. Like, John Morant's someone I really wanted because we haven't had a point guard in such a long time. But anyway, it was a failed offseason compared to, like, mainstream media. We ended up with Marcus Morris, Julius Randle, Wayne Ellington, Alfred Payton, Taj Gibson. It was a failed offseason to many people. We literally just handed out money. Reggie Bullock handed out money to free up, like, roster spots. We just spent the money to spend the money. That's what it felt like. Julius Randle signing, I didn't mind. I didn't mind it whatsoever. I was like, RJ, Julius Randle, like, solid young core there. Like, we have Knox, we have Mitchell Robinson. Okay, I'm actually a fan of this. I like the direction this team's moving in. We're building a young culture. I like it. Like, this team's not going to be good right away, but it looks like it's going to be focused on development. But yeah, Julius Randle, what he was doing in New Orleans, he averaged 20 points. He had a game he scored 45. Like, he had some games he absolutely erupted, but I'm like, this dude doesn't result in winning basketball. But I guess it's cool. He's only 26 years old and all that. But and also the history of the Lakers, how in his NBA debut, he sadly broke his leg, which was just absolutely atrocious. And yeah, it just sucked. I thought he had a lot of talent coming out of Kentucky with his bully ball style of play. And he really matured his game so far in the NBA. But yeah, anyway, when we acquired Julius Randle, people were just like, Like, or most people were like that. Like, I knew at one point we weren't getting KD. I was like, okay, Brooklyn's gonna get him. But some people like were really holding on to it like last second. Like, don't worry, we're getting KD. But I was like really starting to think we haven't proven to have a winning culture. Like what makes this team attractive? We have a terrible coach. Like, there's no attractive players on this roster. There's no winning culture. There's no direction. Like, yeah, let's just get KD and Kyrie. Like, the Brooklyn Nets proved to win with young pieces and develop under Kenny Atkinson. But yes, just getting Julius Randle, like the first mindset was like during RJ's rookie year, we're just like, what's RJ have? Like, I can't wait to watch RJ Barrett. Number one option. He's gonna have the ball in his hands. We may not win a lot of games. But that wasn't the case. Julius Randle had the ball in his hands a lot. A lot, a lot, a lot. Like, this man, we were calling a ball stopper, taking terrible shots, which he was. He was taking terrible shots. He turned the ball over, did that stupid spin move, called him the human Beyblade for a reason. Yeah, he was taking terrible shots, played no defense, turned the ball over. He was selfish. That was our main mindset with Julius Randle. We're like, waste of money. Why'd we get this guy? Makes no sense whatsoever. But then you look at the full picture. David Fizdale, no structure. Didn't play players throughout his strengths. No adjustments. Didn't hold guys accountable. So is Julius Randle being used properly? And yeah, we're like RJ, like as a player, he's gonna be wasted due to Julius Randle. We need to get rid of this guy. So yeah, like Julius Randle put up 19 points like per game, but we were absolutely atrocious. We were a terrible basketball team. And we started to get better. I believe we finished with 21 wins when Mike Miller took over at the helm, who's proven to be a winner. I believe he won the G League Championship or went to the G League Championship with the Westchester Knicks, and good luck with him over at the Oklahoma City Thunder. I think he's going to bring some wins to them as an assistant coach. But yeah, it wasn't resulting in wins. I was like, this guy's literally a player that's stunting the development of RJ. He puts up big-time numbers on a bad basketball team. So, and he's not a leader. It seemed like it was just like a mess. He seems like a good guy off the court, but he's just so immature. His style of play, it's literally watching a less talented Carmelo Anthony. That was our mindset with Julius Randle. And of course, during the offseason or even like during the trade deadline, we tried to deal Julius Randle. There was rumors of that, but no one wanted to take on that contract. They're like, nope, we're not getting a guy that's so ball dominant, makes all that money. He's going to take the ball out of our star players' hands. He's going to stump the development of guys like they're doing with RJ Barrett over there. Even though RJ Barrett had like no shooters around him, but I'm starting to get tired of that excuse when there's games like Reggie Bullock plays well, Randle shoots the ball well from three as well. RJ simply has to be better in my opinion, but I get it. He'll be a lot better with spacing. But yeah, Randle was just a very frustrating basketball player. At the end of games, he would turn the ball over. He had his very good moments, but we're like, we want RJ taking those shots, not Randle. Even though we didn't think back then, like, doesn't matter. He's 26 years old. He's still a young, talented basketball player, but we just thought RJ, top three pick. We have to see what he got. We don't care about Julius Randle. We care about Mitch. We care about RJ, and we care about Kevin Knox. Even though, we played Kevin Knox like 16 minutes per game or 19 minutes per game. But anyway, no one wanted that contract. No one wanted his style of play. We entered the NBA draft. We went on to draft Obi Toppin, power forward, even more power forward jokes. Taj Gibson, Julius Randle, Obi Toppin. You know the whole joke when we had Marcus Morris. Got blown out of proportion because we literally ended up letting power forwards go from the roster. But that's mainstream media, casual fans that don't know what they're talking about. At the end of the day, you could say Obi Toppin was the best player on the board. He's 22 years old, but he didn't really have a skill set to translate to the NBA right away. That's why I wasn't high on the pick. So I was like, don't be surprised if Julius Randle starts. And he does go on to start, even though Knicks fans were like, let's go. Obi means Randle's out the window. We're trading Randle. He's gone. And before you know it, Randle's still on the team. Of course, preseason, regular season. And we have this brand new coach at Tom Thibodeau, holds guys accountable. We're like, okay. My mindset was like, I'll give Randle another chance. Let's see how he is with this new regime of Kenny Payne, Johnny Bryant, Tom Thibodeau. He looks like a brand new basketball player. We're winning games. He's making smart decisions with the ball. Like the concerns we had last season, like don't get me wrong, he still turns the ball over, but he has the ball in his hands a lot. And I know he doesn't have the greatest of handle. But this dude's putting up points. Like this is why he should be an all-star. The Knicks are the 6th seed. If someone told me Julius Randle will put this team on his back, and like I know I get it, RJ also is contributing, Emmanuel quickly, Mitchell Robinson, Nerlens Noel providing good defense. Like I know they're not the only ones. He's not the only one. But just the style of play of Julius Randle, consistently showing up every night. We can't count on RJ to show up every single night. You can't count on Mitch to show up every night offensively. You can't count on these guys every single night. But this season, we've been able to count on Randle to lead us to a 6 seed, and you could say he's not really forcing shots anymore. Like, even if he is, his shots are falling. They look way more smooth. It looks like he has a brand new shot to his arsenal from the post. He's starting to really bully ball types of guys. He's keeping his head up, so you can't even say he's still on the development of RJ anymore. He's been very productive passing the basketball. He's better on the defense side of the basketball, shooting way better from the free throw line, and he's better at initiating contact, shooting 80% from the free throw line, 40% from downtown, 47% from the field, like 22 points, like 5 or 6 assists. He's getting it done on both ends of the floor, and he's knowing when to give the ball up. Like an example, that pass he made to RJ for that clutch 3 at the end of the game, like he wouldn't have made that pass like against the Atlanta Hawks last night. He wouldn't have made that pass last season. I don't know what's gone to him. Like, he didn't have to listen to the coaches, or he was just like, I wasn't good enough. Like, I need to mature my game, and that's literally what Julius Randle has done so far this season. Still is early. He can go back to his ways. We can start losing. But this team's overachieved. This is the same team that has Elfrid Payton at point guard. RJ Barrett, of course, he's still growing into his own. He's starting to develop and become better as a basketball player, starting to become more efficient. But Elfrid Payton's your point guard, can't shoot, can't rely on RJ to shoot well every single night. Reggie Bullock's streaky. Mitchell Robinson can't shoot. Julius Randle's the best spacer on the floor. He's legitimately carrying this basketball team. He's a better leader. Like, he's learned from guys like Taj, like bringing back Taj. He's learning guys from Derrick, like learning from Derrick Rose. It's just like, what's gotten into him? Like, really? And like, I'll say it again, this dude is Mr. Reliable. You can count on him to be out there like every single game, and he hasn't missed one single game. You may have a guy like Zach LaVine putting up amazing numbers, but so was he last year. So was a guy like Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal's losing though. Zach LaVine, they're like 9th seed, but they're not in the playoffs at the end of the day. They're not. Like, he's putting up big time numbers, but he struggles defensively. Then you have a guy of Gordon Hayward. He's a beast, but his numbers used to be higher. Now they're falling off to like 22 points per game. I know they're in the playoffs. At one point, they were ahead of us due to a tiebreaker, but now we're ahead of them, and he's missed 3 games this season. I would go with Julius Randle. I may be a biased Knicks fan, but just seeing his improvement, but he's playing like legitimate all-star. His team's 6th seed in the playoffs, overachieving. Has Elfrid Payton at point guard. His starting point guard's Elfrid frickin' Payton. He's keeping his head up. He's making the right passes. He's rebounding. He's better defensively. He's more vocal. Like, this dude has become a better leader. Like, you could say Tom Thibodeau may be the reason, the coaching and all that, but he didn't have to listen to him. He could have just been selfish, Julius Randle. And now he's looking like he's better than that contract. And I say give him the contract. I know people may be like, it's too early into the season, but he's the reason we're winning games. When's the last time you could say we're the freaking 6th seed? Like, 10 games in, 11 games in with Porzingis when he had like a 5-game stretch, fell off, got hurt. We're going to have to pay players at some point, especially someone that's vocal, especially someone that's matured. He's 26 years old. You could say he's entering his prime. He may continue to get better as a basketball player. I'm not saying he's next LeBron James. But Randle's been fantastic this season. But yes, listing off these stats, he's averaging 23 points per game, 11 rebounds, 5.6 assists, 1 steal, 80% from the charity stripe, 40% from 3, and 47% from the field, and he's leading a below average to average roster, you could say, to the playoffs as a 6th seed. Again, this team could fall off. Usually, like, you see the Knicks sometimes fall off after All-Star break. But what's going on right now is Julius Randle's an All-Star. He's a freaking All-Star, and if people were looking for that big pop game, where's his 40-point night? You had it last night. I don't care if it's the Hawks. It's 44 freaking points. I know John Collins can't play a lick of defense, but you pay Julius Randle, you bring him back. Not saying he's a number 1 future option, but you don't even have to worry about him taking the ball out of guys' hands anymore. And even when he does go to work, like, he's productive with the ball now. He's not like winding the clock down. But the 3-point shooting, just his style of play, it's just crazy to see his touch. But let me know down below your thoughts and analysis. Click that subscribe button, smash the like button. Let me know down below your thoughts on Julius Randle. And as always, guys, have a humble day or night. Peace out, y'all.